You are listening to Living Lighter Radio. I'm Jason.
And I'm Patricia, with an ecosystem approach to your life. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio.
Living Lighter provides a revolutionary way to address what's truly holding you back. We have the tools you need to reach your goals and at the same time be living lighter.
Join us now for a Living Lighter experience. This is Living Lighter Radio, and I'm Patricia. I'm here with my husband, Jason, and today we're going to talk to those who are seeking love. We're going to look at the real root of the problem, because the biggest problems are all the misconceptions. Jason's going to explain more about that later. We use an ecosystem approach to you, which is much different than what you are commonly taught. We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed. Human potential becomes infinite with our ecosystem approach. Okay, Jason, what do you say to people who are looking or seeking love?
Not to be cynical, but I'm sorry.
Hmm.
You know, we've had so many people come to us over the years, and we've been doing this for 20 years, so there's a lot of people, and they're in pain because they're looking for that love in their life. They're looking for that special someone. They're looking for a partner. They're looking for a mate.
Okay. Well, so can you explain the real problem and why it's so difficult?
It has to do with the basic structure. And if you're listening right now, this isn't your fault.
Yeah.
I want to say that. But it's because we grow up in a culture of programming instead of uncovering your authentic self.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what happens. Instead of growing up and saying, okay, who are you? And trying to understand who you are authentically and to express that in the world, we grow up in a culture where it says, what are your objectives? What do I want? You know, your parents look at you and say, how do I want you to behave? You know, what do I want you to aspire to? And a lot of that comes from them, not from authentically who you are.
Well, I would say it all comes from them, but let's not blame them either, because they were programmed as well.
To say this is how you raise a child.
Exactly.
You know, it's not about trying to uncover who they are.
Right.
And it's a complete misunderstanding of how we work, because we come in with an essence which has the information about who we are.
Right.
But we don't acknowledge that. We go right to, this is what you should believe. This is how you should act. This is how you should go to school.
This is what we expect.
Yes. And when in that process of that programming, it covers up that internal part of you, that essence that says, this is who I am and how do I express that in the world?
Wow. Okay. You know, and I might be getting ahead of myself here a little bit, but when we use the programming that came from our parents, and like I said, this is not to blame anybody, but when we use that programming, it creates things like neediness and loneliness, and
those are the toxic negative emotions that come from programming.
Yes.
You know, and here's the problem. People come to us and they expect some sort of magic wand or magic energy, whiz bang, super cute thing that we can do, you know, twitch our nose or whatever. And
okay,
it's unfortunately, we have to kind of go back to the beginning and to reorientate people to how you work, and then how to make that part of you work. Meaning
how you work authentically.
Yes.
And that authentic part of you, how does it work?
It's like, you know, we call this the ecosystem approach, but
Mm-hmm.
basically we want you to go back to being organic with yourself.
Ooh. He liked that one. You should have just seen him on that one. Okay.
So you know, and here's the biggest problem.
Okay.
The way it is now, because of our programming culture, it becomes a game of finding a partner.
Well,
and the best gamers win.
Okay.
But even if you win, even if you do the makeover and you can make yourself, you create a marketing program for yourself,
Right.
and you find someone, chances are it's not going to last because that marketing program is not based on authenticity.
Right. Well, okay. So one of the things that I see about the programming, and I can use myself as the example, but I was programmed and the expectations were not a real high mark. Let me just say it that way. My parents expected me to just be a girl and then a wife and a mother and stay home and be barefoot. I'll say it that way. And by the way, that is so not me. And I just
for the audience, she's wearing shoes right now. Anyway,
good one. But what happened to me, and I see how it happens to everybody else, is we are trained through programming to lie to ourselves.
Oh my gosh!
And
because it's not about who we are authentically; it's about who we're supposed to be,
or what the expectations of everybody else is that we're supposed to be. Just a little note. I was married very young, and I realized that very shortly after I was married, this was not me. This is not what I wanted. But I stuck with it. I stuck with it for 20 years. But after that 20 years, I'd had enough of not being me. And I was divorced, and then I went from relationship to relationship. And the irony is I continued to find the same partner, the same type of partner, a form of the same type of personality.
It's not a competition, sweetie, but I've been married twice before I found the love of my life sitting next to me. And was it because I was stupid? Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know who I was authentically.
Well, exactly.
How could I possibly? And I remember, my first wife passed away. She died of cancer, but we weren't a match at all. And then when I married the second wife, I thought they were totally different, but their personality types were the same, even though on paper they were completely different.
Right.
But it was the same stupidity. Stupidity. What I mean is a lack of emotional intelligence. And where do you get emotional intelligence?
Through
the ecosystem approach.
There you go.
And knowing who you are authentically.
Exactly.
And that's why our last show was about uncovering your authentic self or self-love, because
right.
that's got to be the beginning. And here's the real key here.
Okay.
When you start to uncover who you are, and we do that with the ecosystem approach,
okay,
you understand how you feel to others, which is a big part of finding a mate.
Okay.
And you understand your own neediness and how you lie to yourself.
And that lying to yourself is one of the biggest things that we all do.
We all do it. It's because we're programmed, as opposed
right.
to say, okay, who are we?
Right.
So as we see how we lie to ourselves, then we see how other people lie to themselves.
And we also see how we lie to others.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And just because we're trying to present an image or have a programmed part of ourselves to the world, we want to put forth a programmed part of ourselves.
Well, because we're trained. I'm sorry, I jumped in, but we are trained that that's the way to do it. That is the way to find whatever you want in life. And we're both saying, do it, Jason. No.
Yes. No.
I don't do it like him.
Here's the biggest thing.
Okay.
People come to us in pain, but they have this unconscious belief. It's a false implication that finding a partner will overcome the pain they're in, the loneliness they're in. And even though they don't say it, they may not call it neediness, but that's what it is.
Yes.
And I'm here to say, and I'm sorry to say this to you, for all those who are out there looking for a mate, that finding a mate won't necessarily overcome those feelings.
Well, but it might take them away or cover them up for a while.
Mute them for a while.
But they show up.
And when you bring neediness and loneliness into a relationship, it's pretty toxic.
No, it's not pretty toxic. It is toxic. And it causes things like alcoholism and drug addiction and food addictions.
Health problems, cancer.
Exactly.
Difficulty with your job,
Yes.
difficulty in your life.
Well, and if you think about it, difficult relationships with everything that you connect with.
Just plain unhappiness.
Exactly. So, Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
Our culture of programming has made it extremely difficult to find good partners.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing your authentic self and how you feel to others is essential to finding a mate.
Okay.
Taking the time to uncover who you are is essential to see how you lie to yourself.
And by the way, we all lie.
We all do it. The ecosystem approach helps you do all the things you need to uncover your authentic self.
Stay tuned when we come back. We're going to talk about the framework you have to have for yourself to attract a positive partner. This is Living Lighter with Jason and Patricia with an ecosystem approach to your life. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Conscious Confidence Radio, a timeless wisdom with Sarah Main. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio and join Sarah on an adventurous journey to the deeper level of meaning to move beyond today's world of constant change, confusion, and uncertainty beyond the shadow of fear. This hit show explores key concepts such as confidence, values, and attitude in a dynamic way. To learn more about Sarah and her work, visit sarahmain.com.
Introducing the Lucid Planet, a digital gathering place featuring cutting-edge, high-vibrational content that will empower and inspire you to become the greatest version of yourself. Visit the Lucid Planet today to stimulate your mind, body, and soul as you connect with a global community of like-minded people. The Lucid Planet is edited by renowned psychologist and author Dr. Kelly Neff, who is here to help you cope with anxiety, connect to your higher purpose, uncover your true passions, and live your dreams. Dr. Kelly's fresh, compassionate perspective emphasizes growth, transformation, healing, and thriving. Even in the face of adversity, say goodbye to bad news and low vibrational media for good and become part of the larger collective of people working together to navigate the global shift of consciousness and transform the world from within. Join the planet, the Lucid Planet. Visit thelucidplanet.com. Welcome home.
This is Debbie Pokornik with a break-free parenting tip. If you haven't been practicing active listening or are getting into some bad habits, it's a good idea to go back to the basics and remind yourself how to be a good listener. Here's an idea that might help. When your child comes to you with a story about her day, set aside whatever you're doing and give her your full attention. If you're in the middle of something that can't be put aside, tell her that you really want to be able to give her story your full attention and ask if you could continue the conversation at a specific time. So for example, this sounds like an important story and I'd really like to give it my full attention. Can we talk about it in 10 minutes when supper's in the oven? Active listening might sound like common sense, but often it's these simple skills that get buried in our parenting pack and easily forgotten or overlooked. Challenge yourself to practice this skill for a full week and see if you notice a difference in how much your child is sharing.
For information and to work with Debbie, visit empoweringnrg.com.
Choose the new earth on the Cornelia Stephanie Show. Tune in each week on Transformation Talk Radio as Cornelia takes listeners on an odyssey of higher consciousness to inspire, educate, and empower. Cornelia guides people on the path of self-healing, peace, and liberation. The Cornelia Stephanie Show is your catalyst for anchoring heaven on earth on a global scale. For more information, go to corneliastephanie.com.
This is Living Lighter Radio with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to talk about the energy you have to have for yourself to attract a positive partner. We use an ecosystem approach to you, which is much different than what you are commonly taught. We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed. Human potential becomes infinite with our ecosystem approach. Okay, Jason, What do you mean by having the right energy to attract a partner?
It's the energy that reflects the authentic you, which is always the most attractive.
Well, wait a minute. Could you say even illuminates the authentic you?
That's one way of saying it.
Okay.
I guess your authentic energy is bright by definition. It's natural, organic to who you are.
Yeah.
Something that's phony, if you create a makeover and do a marketing plan to reinvent yourself out in the world, that's not you.
Okay.
It won't glow energetically. As Trish and I can see energy, and you won't shine the same way you do if you just are you authentically. And even, and I'm raising my hand, even the most geeky among us will be very attractive when we're authentically geeky, as opposed to
I'm not geeky.
Yeah, as opposed to trying to put on a geeky appearance. And most geeks do not. They don't try to.
They don't even try. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Well, and on one hand, for many things, like energy attracts like energy.
So when you're authentic, you'll attract others who are authentic in the same way. In other words, if you're the most amazing geek out there, you have this billboard, this energetic billboard that's that shines that can be seen for miles and miles and miles.
And honey, I want to say to you with true love and affection, it wasn't your geekicity that I was attracted to. Okay, just saying.
Well, and I hope you'll finish that sentence by saying it was my authenticity, but
it was actually.
The truth is that we kind of did this together.
Yeah.
I was just starting with the ecosystem approach when we met, and we started working with this energy together.
The like attracts like.
Yes.
That's what that was, truly.
And I don't know which came first, enjoying this path of working with the energy or having affection for each other, but it was all very organic and natural to who we were.
Truly.
So understand, and I want to talk about this compatibility in dating apps where you there's a dating app where you can they do these tests to determine who you're compatible with, and then they match you up technologically. Oh my gosh, what you do when that happens, when you use compatibility
from somebody else's perspective,
you're letting someone else define who you are.
Right.
And if you've been programmed all your life and you take a psychology test, is that going to automatically cut through the program and get to the authentic you?
Right.
No.
Yes, exactly.
It's not going to do it.
Exactly.
And I would never delegate that self-knowledge, which is like gold. Everyone out there, your own self-knowledge and self-love is like gold to you. But if you get it from someone else, it can't be trusted.
Well, and could we say that self-knowledge is like gold to you, and that means it has value. But when you don't have that self-knowledge, there's no gold.
Yes. And our last show was about self-love.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't listened to that, please go back and listen to that. This is an amazing show.
Truly.
And that's the foundation for what we're talking about here.
Right.
But if you want to increase your attractiveness,
okay,
here it is. People come to us and say, I want to be more attractive. I don't feel like, I'm attracting the right kind or attracting anybody.
Right.
Do the things that make your heart expressive.
Huh.
People don't get that. But when you're out in the world doing what you love, your energy is always the most attractive.
Right.
So people think, well, how can I do that? I'm a janitor, or I'm working in an admin someplace in a cubby, but that doesn't define you. Your authentic energy defines you. And if you're in your authentic energy, you'll find a way to express that. It could be that you go to a 9-to-5 job in a cubicle someplace doing admin, but you paint at night or do music or something that makes your heart sing.
Or sing.
Yes.
Exactly.
Then you bring that to work. Then you bring that, whenever you're out in the world, you've got that energy attached to you.
Exactly.
But
and
if
it's
you're
very
bored with
attractive.
yourself, yes.
Yes.
If you're bored with yourself, if you don't have that self-love,
or if you hate yourself,
exactly, you can't cover it up. You can't put. There's only so much lipstick in the world that's going to cover that up.
Oh, never mind. That brings anyway. I do want to say that when I'm dancing and singing and playing music around the house and painting, I have to say it changes the energy in the house. It makes everything better.
You should, if you were flying on the wall on our house, Patricia's always running around singing and dancing, and she'll even work with clients, and she'll be doing painting, and I'm always playing music and working on doing some writing, and we're just happy. We joke around all the time. We're always happy. We're talking to the dogs. They don't talk back, but they're happy to be with us. And
I understand.
We're talking to mom, and she's happy. It's just who we are, and the energy in this house feels great.
Well, I appreciate that information, Jason. But here's a really important point: the neediness and lack of self-love is overwhelming to someone who has not done the ecosystem approach.
A lot of people, when they have neediness, whether they call it that or not, or they lack their own self-love, it creates a dysfunctional desire to find a partner, to connect and have relationships.
Right.
And it's an unconscious belief, and it's false. And as intuitives, we know this, and we've been working with it for 20 years, that with this belief that if you find a partner, if only I could find that love of my life,
right,
then this neediness and lack of self-love would go away. But ironically, what happens then is you project that onto your partner
and have expectations.
Even if you were able to find, quote unquote, the love of your life, with neediness and lack of self-love, if you carry that into the relationship, it's pretty toxic. It creates a lot of barriers to a really good relationship.
Well, and it because with that neediness and lack of self-love, you have barriers to your own self, and then you're having expectations that somebody else is going to love you,
or take care of those emotions
and fix those things.
And it doesn't work that way.
The problem is that there are barriers there, and so you're having expectations that partner can actually fix that for you when it's your job.
So here's the ultimate irony.
Okay,
when you're comfortable being single, and you're loving yourself, and you're expressing your heart in the world,
right,
you're in the best position to find a partner. I know that sounds like a cruel joke by the universe playing on you. But
yes,
unfortunately, as intuitives, we see that that's the truth. And assuming that you're actively engaged in a great life and love it, that's when you're the most attractive.
Okay.
And most singles unconsciously believe that if their life was not great, only if they could find a partner, everything would be better. No, that's a false belief. The only thing that makes it better than being single in the world, and this is based on what we've seen in the world, not based on what our belief is, that being single is the best thing. Then being happily single is much better. Is one of the best things. The only thing better than being single in the world is being very happily married.
Well,
but most people aren't happily married. They're very dull married.
Right. Well, and the other thing is here programming comes right back into this. We are programmed to set our intentions when we're very young, Cinderella story, so forth, that we have to find a mate. And it's not always true. It is not always true at all. So, Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
Authentic energy expressed from your authentic self attracts others who have like energy, just like a billboard.
You know what, Jason? You didn't explain that billboard very well, or I think I interrupted you.
Your authentic energy is like a billboard, and you can't fake it. So in other words, if you do a makeover, lose 50 pounds, be smoking hot in that with new outfits, blah blah blah, that's just veneer, and it's not going to make the difference.
Right.
The real difference that attracts others is that expression of your authenticity from your heart.
Love it.
And unfortunately, we're supposed to learn that in childhood. Almost none of us do, so we have to learn it when we know about it.
Exactly.
Here's the second key point. The way to increase your attractiveness is by expressing your authentic heart in the world. You are always the most attractive for a mate when you are truly happily single.
Okay.
And the ecosystem approach helps you be a happily single, attractive person and create the best energy to find a mate.
I love it.
And oh, by the way, if this is making you hopeless and sad, hang in there with us. We're going to talk about that next segment.
I love that. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to help you remove any unhappiness you have about being single and at the same time help you become more attractive to yourself and others. This is Living Lighter with Jason and Patricia with an ecosystem approach to your life. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Disease, one of the most dreaded words in our vocabulary. Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. Did you know traditionally we have viewed disease as a degenerative process? Disease is better understood when we view it as dis-ease in the human body. Dis-ease means without ease. Health is not merely the absence of disease, it's when every part of the body works together effortlessly, relaxed and at ease. It's that relaxed state that lets energy flow in waves through and around the entire body. Every organ has an electrical charge, and when overcharged or undercharged, dis-ease occurs. And it is an effort to go through our day. We are able to determine the exact dis-ease of the body and design a specific solution to correct the nutritional imbalance. Contact us at 888-777-4232. That's 888-777-4232. And visit us at maryjanemack.com.
Introducing the Lucid Planet, a digital gathering place featuring cutting-edge, high-vibrational content that will empower and inspire you to become the greatest version of yourself. Visit the Lucid Planet today to stimulate your mind, body, and soul as you connect with a global community of like-minded people. The Lucid Planet is edited by renowned psychologist and author Dr. Kelly Neff, who is here to help you cope with anxiety, connect to your higher purpose, uncover your true passions, and live your dreams. Dr. Kelly's fresh, compassionate perspective emphasizes growth, transformation, healing, and thriving. Even in the face of adversity, say goodbye to bad news and low vibrational media for good and become part of the larger collective of people working together to navigate the global shift of consciousness and transform the world from within. Join the planet, the Lucid Planet. Visit thelucidplanet.com. Welcome home.
This is Debbie Pokornik with a break-free parenting tip. If you haven't been practicing active listening or are getting into some bad habits, it's a good idea to go back to the basics and remind yourself how to be a good listener. Here's an idea that might help. When your child comes to you with a story about her day, set aside whatever you're doing and give her your full attention. If you're in the middle of something that can't be put aside, tell her that you really want to be able to give her story your full attention and ask if you could continue the conversation at a specific time. So for example, this sounds like an important story and I'd really like to give it my full attention. Can we talk about it in 10 minutes when supper's in the oven? Active listening might sound like common sense, but often it's these simple skills that get buried in our parenting pack and easily forgotten or overlooked. Challenge yourself to practice this skill for a full week and see if you notice a difference in how much your child is sharing.
For information and to work with Debbie, visit empoweringnrg.com.
This is Living Lighter Radio with Jason, and I'm Patricia. Here we're going to talk and help you remove any unhappiness you have about being single and at the same time help you become more attractive to yourself and others. We use an ecosystem approach to you, which is much different than what you are commonly taught. We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed. Human potential becomes infinite with our ecosystem approach. So, Jason, we've worked with many people over the years who are so unhappy and want desperately to find a mate. How do we help them with the pain that they're in?
Very simply, we clear the pain. Do you understand the pain, the loneliness, the heartache that people say that they yearn for that love in their life? Those are energies. Those are negative energies, and they can be cleared.
Okay.
And we clear them with the ecosystem approach. That's the way to take care of this stuff. We think that we can resolve the pain by having a relationship. No, it's the energy is still there.
Well, you know what? I need to say this, and this is really important. Understand that when you do the ecosystem approach and clear the negative energies of loneliness and neediness and all of these things, the most amazing thing happens that, and there's not a time limit on this, but what happens is that we then connect with our heart and the essence of who we are and our clarity in the world, our clarity about ourselves, our clarity even in our families becomes, we become aware. And in this awareness is the best gift ever, because then we can see what we are doing here, why we are here, and how we can love ourselves.
You know, we've said this many, many times to people, but the most attractive, sexy thing you can do in a relationship is to be seen.
Yes.
And but the
I
first
don't think
step,
we've said it enough, by the way.
we haven't said it enough. But the truth is that instead of trying to have someone else see you, the most important thing to do is see yourself.
Yes.
And that's the authentic part that we're talking about.
Well, and it's so attractive when you're talking to someone or connecting with someone and you can see they understand themselves, and therefore they'll have room within to help you understand you.
Yes.
It's amazing.
You know, pain, loneliness, hurt,
Yes.
neediness can be directly cleared. That's the way to do it.
Because if you don't clear it, it doesn't go away.
So for all of you out there that are really being hopeless like right now and want to, are giving me the finger, even though this is the radio and I can't see, I get it. I get it because you're in pain right now.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you the quickest way out of that pain is directly clearing that pain. And whether it's loneliness, hurt, neediness, broken heart, a yearning heart, those are all energies that can be cleared.
Jason, many people say they're okay being alone and single.
We've had a lot of those too, and there are a lot of people that say they're okay being alone and single, but they're not. It's my ex-wife, my most recent ex-wife,
and that's not me, everyone.
Yes, she pushed people away, and she was always very independent and would go from person to person to person. But I could see, and I know this was true, that it wasn't because she wasn't lonely. It's just that she would push people away before they rejected her.
Yeah,
and it was a form of defense. But there was still pain being single. She just didn't realize what it was and how to get out of it and how to deal with it. And I guarantee all of you out there, because of our programming, it's quite likely that you have pain about being alone and single and
or being
lonely
or lonely in a relationship that you've been in for years. And I know we're going to talk about that next week a little bit.
Yes.
Did I let the cat out of the bag?
Well, we're the cat's out already. So
okay,
but it's not a problem. And the truth is, dealing with the emotions directly is the quickest, is the best way to feel good.
And the ecosystem approach really helps you uncover the lies that you tell yourself every day.
Yes.
And by the way, those lies, when you start using the ecosystem approach, the lies, you can see them, why you did them, and that you don't have to do them anymore.
Here's the biggest problem.
Okay.
In our programming culture, we skip a lot of steps growing up,
Yes.
and when we say should, it's because as intuitives, when we look and see how we're designed, the creator left, it's not a literal instruction manual, but there's clues and hints and all sorts of information about how we should work, how we should grow up, how we should parent.
Correct.
And when you listen to our show, that's what we're telling you. With these hints and things are kind of obvious.
Yeah.
But we've taken a machine-like approach to the world where someone else tells us how we should act. Someone else programs us. Some other expert tells us, the secret to blah, 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 which is usually blah or baloney anyways. The secrets about how we should act are inside of us.
Well,
and we don't, what we should do. And so let me finish my thought.
Okay.
We're supposed to grow up and mature by knowing ourselves.
Right.
By uncovering. We say this every time.
Uncover.
We see human beings as ecosystems that need to be uncovered instead of programmed.
Right.
If we were uncovered all during our childhood years, we would grow up and feel secure. We would probably be less likely to be drug addicted, have some of the problems that teenagers have these days.
Exactly.
And have a sense of knowing of who we are that would be solid.
Right. Well, and
then we'd find a mate.
And then we'd find a mate. And one who hopefully had done the same thing you had, meaning uncovered themselves.
Yes.
Because remember, we come in with the 80%.
Yes.
That's a really big point.
That's our big discovery shows that we had. You can go back and listen to those.
Exactly.
We'll talk about that.
Yes. And so, Jason, just one more time. When we're children, we're programmed to actually skip a lot of steps in growing up. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. We focus on goals and aspirations without doing the other steps toward emotional maturity and self-understanding.
Okay. So, Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
The pain of being alone and single does not go away with a relationship.
Okay.
Pain, neediness, loneliness are energies that need to be cleared, not resolved with actions.
Okay.
In our programming culture, we skip the steps of self-knowledge and internal security. Yeah. And the ecosystem approach is designed to create self-knowledge and a solid feeling inside.
I never felt safe until I started doing the ecosystem approach. And that was a big deal for me. Huge.
And we know, she would say, you make me feel safe in the beginning, but now I just turn around and say, well, it's not about me doing it for her.
No, not at all.
And it's an internal process. So
exactly.
So if you want some of this, here's how you do it. We're going to show you how to work with energy.
Okay.
This is how you do the clearing. We're going to do clearings in our next segment. This is how you do it. You set your, you please set your intention to help yourself and help others.
Mm-hmm.
If we clear something that doesn't apply to you, it won't hurt you to clear it.
But it might help somebody else you've intended to help.
Yes. So just set your intention, use your imagination. You can doesn't matter what posture you're in or how you're standing, seating, on your head, doesn't matter. And when we say the stated emotion, just gather that up and blow it out into a trash can. If there's not a trash can close by, do an imaginary trash can, and that works.
It not only works, it's the greatest thing ever.
Clearing works whether you believe it or not. You don't have to believe in this to make it work. This is how the world works, and we've captured how the world works.
Exactly. So then after we do some clearing, we're going to activate life force. Life force is the most powerful, positive, creative energy ever, and it's how we survive here. It is our life force. So, and by the way, we see this as clear, pure light. And what we're going to do is we're going to call upon that life force energy. We're going to pull it in through the top of our head. We're going to let it go all the way down our shoulders and our torso and all the way to the tips of our toes. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to turn it around. And then we're going to blow out any negative energy by using that life force energy that's still, keeping us stuck or holding us hostage. And it's amazing We use breath in all that we do because where does life force come from? When we're breathing, we know we have it. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to do some clearings to help you create more attractiveness as you go out to find a mate. Well, and even attractiveness for yourself. This is Living Lighter with Jason and Patricia with an ecosystem approach to your life. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. Living Lighter Radio with Jason and Patricia. We have an ecosystem approach to your life. Tune in weekly every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio as we, Jason and Patricia, discuss what's truly holding you back. We offer you the tools you need to reach your goals and at the same time be living lighter. For more information about Living Lighter, visit www.livinglighter.org.
Healing has a ripple effect. One person's healing affects everyone around them. This is where the power of sharing our stories can be so important. Tune in to Playing on the Edge Radio with Megan Edge each month on Transformation Talk Radio as Megan provides you with ways of sustaining radical and powerful changes in your life. Enact the power of radical change. To find out more about Megan Edge, visit her website at meganedge.ca.
Introducing the Lucid Planet, a digital gathering place featuring cutting-edge, high vibrational content that will empower and inspire you to become the greatest version of yourself. Visit the Lucid Planet today to stimulate your mind, body, and soul as you connect with a global community of like-minded people. The Lucid Planet is edited by renowned psychologist and author Dr. Kelly Neff, who is here to help you cope with anxiety, connect to your higher purpose, uncover your true passions, and live your dreams. Dr. Kelly's fresh, compassionate perspective emphasizes growth, transformation, healing, and thriving. Even in the face of adversity, say goodbye to bad news and low vibrational media for good and become part of the larger collective of people working together to navigate the global shift of consciousness and transform the world from within. Join the planet, the Lucid Planet. Visit thelucidplanet.com. Welcome home.
Veils and illusions, blow them into that imaginary trash can.
And to eliminate fears and worries and anxieties I have that, and the false beliefs that I have that having a relationship will fix my loneliness and my pain and my hurt. Take a nice breath. Blow it out.
And to eliminate the false belief that having a relationship will fix me in any way, whether it's conscious or unconscious, when no, that's not true. Okay. Gather that false belief, blow it into the trash can.
And to eliminate the blocks that are keeping me from having an authentic relationship with myself, meaning knowing myself, so I can go out and find that mate. Take a breath.
And to eliminate any anger I have about being single and alone, and bitterness, hate of myself, judgment of myself for being single and alone. Gather that all up, blow it into the processor. Oh, by the way, those emotions you wear, and they're not attractive.
Yeah. You know that thing that hangs around on the middle part of you, meaning that belly stuff, that's hate of yourself, by the way. And to eliminate any anger, rage, and shame about my past, which makes me believe I don't deserve to have a mate. Take a breath.
And to eliminate the bitterness and frustration I have about my single life, which is covering my neediness. Take a breath. Gather it all up, that bitterness and frustration.
And to eliminate any neediness and shame and unworthiness that makes me feel unattractive, insecure, and ugly. Take a nice breath. Get rid of this energy. It doesn't serve you. It's a great way to start the rest of your day. Take a breath and blow it out.
And to eliminate the false belief that relationships fix my problems, when the most direct way is just to clear those negative feelings that I have inside, that broken heart, that yearning that I have. Just clear it.
Okay.
Take a breath.
And to eliminate the barrier so I can trust that clearing my neediness and insecurities and all of those other negative energies will make me feel whole. Take a breath. Blow it out.
And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see the pain of being alone will not go away with a mate. Gather up those veils and illusions and blow them out.
And to eliminate the barriers so I can see actions will not remove loneliness, neediness, and the hurt of being single. And the actions they're talking about, being busy all the time, doing this, doing that, or doing nothing. I release and let go all of those barriers. Take a breath.
And to eliminate my frustration with the idea that a relationship will not change my lonely feelings. And any inclination to give Jason the finger, even on the radio. Take a breath. Gather up that frustration.
And blow it out.
And to eliminate, I'm on the roll here, and to eliminate the hopelessness that says, if what they say is true, then I'm doomed. I'm going to be alone and lonely for the rest of my life. And that's not true at all. That's not what we're trying to say. Gather that frustration and loneliness and clear it away. That's the way.
Exactly.
You know, and we've been doing this for a while, but we're going to do some clearings to change the world.
Love it.
So imagine just a big hand going around the world and a big dumpster at the end. So here we go. And just set your intention to help not only yourself, but all the other people that are clearing with us.
Okay.
That all the anger, distrust, suspicion, and those who don't care, who don't share our beliefs, the anger toward those people, just gather that all up. Put that
all the way around the world.
All the way around the world.
Take a breath.
Throw it into that dumpster.
There you go. Throw it away. And to eliminate our inability to see misinformation, propaganda that is polluting our minds and our bodies and our neighborhoods all the way around the world. Take a deep breath. Let it go all the way around and throw it in that dumpster.
And to eliminate all the bitterness, hate, and rage that people have that makes the world mean. Gather that all up, put that big hand all the way around the world, blow it into that dumpster.
And to eliminate the poverty and racism and hate and hunger and indifference to not only the planet, but to everyone that lives here. I release and let go all of that negative energy and anything that's keeping me from helping to change that energy for all of this. Take a breath, let it go all the way around the world, and throw it in that trash can. Jason, I'm going to activate some life force if that works
good.
For you.
Yep.
Okay. Go with me, everyone. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to activate life force energy so I can use life force energy to help change the world, to help change who I am, and help change the relationships that I'm connected to in the world right now. Take a nice big deep breath. Let it come in through the top of your head. Let it go all the way down to the tips of your toes. Stop it. Turn it around and blow out any negative energy. It doesn't serve you anymore. Blow it out.
And to activate life force so I can trust that I don't need a relationship to feel secure, loved, and happy within myself.
Love it. Pull it in through the top of your head. Tips of your toes and blow it out. Any negative energies. And to activate life force so I can trust that my clearing my loneliness and neediness will make me be better and be a better person so I can actually help the world. Take a nice breath in through the top of your head and blow it out. And, I'm sorry.
And to activate life force so I can see my potential for love comes from showing my authentic self to the world.
Take a breath.
No matter how geeky.
He can't help himself, everyone. And to activate life force so I can be happy and healthy and creative and have fun and peaceful and be my giving self and love myself and love others and have great health physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Nice and easy. Pull that in through the top of your head. Let it go all the way to the tips of your toes. Turn around that life force energy and let it throw out any negative energy left behind. Jason, what are we going to talk about next week?
Well, February is the month of love. So next week we're going to talk about being married. The first week we talked about self-love, the ultimate love. And this week we're talking about being single and finding love.
Okay.
And next week we're talking about being married. And here's a spoiler alert. Conventional wisdom is often deeply flawed. And so we're going to talk about, some of the things about what really goes into a great marriage and how to revive a dead marriage using the ecosystem approach.
And by the way, we've seen it work more than once.
Yes.
Pretty amazing. So, if some part of you gets the importance of clearing your essence with the ecosystem approach, mark your calendar. Living Lighter Radio is every week, Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. If you can't listen at that time, our show is recorded and you can go to our website, www.livinglighter.org, and look for the radio tab.
This is the time that I want to tell you, if you're single right now and you're in pain, the way to get out of that pain is the ecosystem approach. And we've made it so easy for you. All you have to do is listen to our show every week. It's recorded. If you can't make it at 1 o'clock Pacific time, it's recorded so you can listen to it anytime during the week. And then go online at livinglighter.org and sign up for our newsletter. It's so important because every week in the newsletter, we offer clearings that are written down so you can do them yourself and start to change that energy within you. This is completely free. It's easy. All you have to do is follow our instructions. We'll help you with it. And if you get a benefit, go like us on Facebook. We're at livinglighter.org. But really, go to our website, livinglighter.org. Sign up for the newsletter right now because it's going to be so helpful to you. A lot of our clients our listeners take those clearings and they just put them on their smartphone and go through them over and over and over again.
Jason, somebody was telling me the other day that they needed a moment. They were having a moment, and they went to our website on their phone as they were walking down the street. And they said that
started to do the clearings.
They started to do the clearings. And it wasn't even the subject that they were upset about. But the bottom line is when they reached their destination, they were much better. So please connect with us next week, Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Transformation Talk Radio, and you're listening to Living Lighter Radio with Jason and Patricia.
Wishing you a lifetime of living lighter.
Thank you for listening to Living Lighter Radio with Jason and Patricia. I'm Patricia. We have an ecosystem approach to your life. Tune in weekly as we discuss what's truly holding you back. We offer you the tools you need to reach your goals and at the same time be living lighter. For more information, visit our website at www.livinglighter.org.